Hello friends, I am Narendra Verma once again before you. As you know very well, we have been dealing with the chapter number 6 in accountancy for class 12 CBSE syllabus, that is retirement and death of a partner, right? And in today's session we are going to talk about death of a partner, means concept and numerical problems, right? So without wasting much time, let's start. See, if you compare retirement of a partner with death of a partner, then from accounting point of view both are similar unit. Okay, that is why these have been combined in a single chapter. Okay, but from practical aspect there is a difference. What is the difference? Okay, unlike retirement, that cannot be planned. Okay, retirement can be planned. A person can decide from what date, from what year he is supposed to take the retirement. Okay, but that cannot be planned. That happens naturally, accidentally, and that can happen on any date in any year. Alright, so that is what the basic difference. Okay, like I told you, from accounting point of view both are similar, means as many adjustments we do at the time of retirement of a partner, same adjustments are done at the time of death of a partner as well, right? Okay, but one thing changes here. When the amount due is calculated, means the amount to be paid to a retiring partner is calculated, that is either paid to him immediately or transferred to his loan account. Okay, because the person is still alive. Fine, but here the person is no more. Fine. So after the calculation, after making all the adjustment, the amount due to the deceased partner, means the partner who has died. Okay, then he is not anymore to receive the payment. If the amount is to be paid immediately or his due amount is transferred to any loan account, then his heirs account are used. Okay, heir means this. Legally, who is the recipient of his property after his death? The person is known as his heir. Maybe possible his wife, maybe possible his children or any other family member. Alright. Okay, one more legal term is used for this heir, that is known as executor. Right? So after making all the adjustment, when the final balance of the deceased partner's capital account is calculated, then the entire due amount is transferred to deceased partner's executor's account. Okay, thereafter if immediate payment has to be made, that will be done in that account, or if the amount is to be transferred to any loan account, then it will be transferred to deceased partner's executor's loan account. Understood the point? Alright, so that is what the difference we need to understand. Okay, say for example there is a partnership in which there are three partners A, B, C. Okay, and C dies. Now when C dies, then his executors are supposed to receive, okay, whatever rights a retiring partner has. These rights become the right of the executor of deceased partners. Alright, so what are the rights? So the executor of the deceased partner becomes entitled to get the following. What are these? Let's understand. Credit balance in his capital and current accounts, right? So whatever is the final balance of the capital or current account, the credit one, he is supposed to get that. Okay, his share in the goodwill of the firm, means the deceased partner, whatever share he had in the goodwill of the firm, he is supposed to get that. Who will be getting? Executor of the deceased partner. His share of profit earned from the beginning of current financial year till the date of death. Okay, means say for example a firm is following the financial year 1st April to 31st March, right? Okay, so the accounting of this year, say for example 31st March 2020, it is done, and the partner dies on 1st June 2020. Okay, now the period from 1st April 2020 to 1st June 2020. Okay, in this period also the firm must be working and earning some profit. Okay, so the executor of the deceased partner has the right to get share in that profit as well, right? When we attempt the numerical question, I will explain it in detail. Okay, now his share of profit on the revaluation of assets and the assessment of liability. liabilities. So after preparation of revaluation account, you know very well, as we used to transfer the loss or profit to the retiring partner as well. Similarly, here the entire amount will go to executor of the deceased partner, right? Then interest on capital effect. Okay, if in partnership deed it is already agreed that all the partners must be getting interest on capital, so he must be getting interest on capital till the date of death. Okay. Next, his salary or commission up to the date of death. If he was getting any salary or commission, so up to the date of that, he is also having entitled to get that. Understood the point? Okay. Now let's talk about what he is liable to pay, or we can say for which the deceased partner's capital account is supposed to be debited. Okay, I just write down here. So these are the liabilities of deceased partner's executor. Means we can say that deceased partner's capital account is debited for these reasons. Okay, for what? For his share of loss. Okay, if there is a loss on revaluation of assets or reassessment of liabilities, then he is supposed to bear that. Okay, so his capital account will be debited. His share of accumulated loss, if there is any kind of accumulated loss, then definitely his capital account is supposed to be debited. Okay, his drawings, if any drawing has been made by the deceased partner, then his capital account is supposed to be debited for same. His share of loss that may have occurred till the date of his death from the last valuation. Like I had discussed that if a partner dies on 1st June, okay, then from 1st April to 1st June, if there is a profit, then he is supposed to get the share of that. If there is a loss, then he is supposed to bear that loss as well. So that is what the fair treatment. Okay. Another one, advance or loan taken by him from the firm. If firm has given any advance or loan to him, then he is supposed to pay that. Okay, fine. Let me tell you one more thing. The adjustment we have discussed so far and these many adjustments. After making all the debit and credit adjustment in the deceased partner's capital account, we transfer the final balance to deceased partner's executor's account. And for the same, one journal entry is passed. What is? I just write it down. So the entry is deceased partner's capital account debit. Why? Because the firm is going to finish the liability of deceased partner's capital account. Okay. So whenever we finish any liability, that is debited. Okay. But one more new liability is created for firm, that is deceased partner's executor's account. Fine. Now, until unless the payments are made to the executor of deceased partner's account, okay, his account will remain as a liability in the firm. Understood the point? Okay. Now let's talk about in detail about the profit. Okay, like I told you, the partner may die at any time. Fine. The last balance sheet was prepared. After 2 months of that, after 15 days of that, after 3 months of that, partner died. Right? Now, for that period also, we need to calculate his share of profit. Okay? But what happens at that point of time, we cannot get the calculation of exact profit. Why? Because exact profit can be calculated only at the end of the year, when we include the closing stock also. But the year has not ended. He has died in the middle of the year, right? So for the same, estimated profit is taken as it is agreed by all the continuing partners. Okay, so for that estimate, there are two kind of methods. Means there are two kinds of ways on what basis this estimation should be taken. Okay. One is the time basis and another is the turnover basis. So we'll talk about it in detail in a little while. Before that, I must discuss that what journal entry will be passed. Means either we adopt the time basis method or turnover basis method. After the adoption of that method, if we are able to calculate the share of profit of the deceased partner for that period, then what journal entry is passed? Okay, so for that there are two cases. One case when continuing partners are not going to change their profit sharing ratio. Okay, and another when continuing partners are going to change their profit sharing ratio. The journal entry differs in two of the cases. So, deceased partner's share of profit from last balance sheet to till date of death. Okay, if there is a profit, we consider it profit. If profit is there, then profit and loss suspense account is debited. Why? Because this is the profit in the middle of the year. Okay, so we open a temporary account. Already we have discussed this situation in the last video when we were attempting a question retirement during the year, right? So at that time also the same condition was applied. Only the change is there. Here in place of retiring partner, deceased partner's capital account is there. Okay, so after the last balance sheet, if the partner dies after 2 months or 3 months, then the profit of that period is calculated. Okay, and then share of deceased partner is calculated, and this entry is passed. Okay, but this is passed in the condition when profit sharing ratio of continuing partners does not change. We'll have to see the question. Okay, because they are not going to get the benefit in the same year in which the partner is dying. In that condition, this is fair enough. Understood? But if profit sharing ratio of continuing partners changes, then the journal entry differs. Okay, because these partners, continuing partners, are going to get the benefit in the same year as well as the partner dies. Okay, and this is the calculation on the basis of the estimation. So they will definitely be there with the advantage this year. Okay, and he will be there at the loss. Fine. So that is why continuing, or we can say gaining partners capital account debited. Okay, and to deceased partners capital account. I told you the reason. What is the reason behind it? Because for the entire year, okay, they are going to get the benefit after his death, right? That is for sure that after the death, the partners are supposed to change their ratio. They need to compensate the amount in form of goodwill. Okay, that is another aspect. Okay, but this is done only for the current year profit. Understood? Okay, so as per the situation given in the question, we will pass the entry. And generally, let me tell you, this condition is given, but may be possible if ratio is changing in the same year, then this journal entry will be utilized. So in a little while, when we attempt the numerical question, you will understand. So these two entries are there for profit, if profit is there. But maybe possible there is a loss in that period. So in that case, nothing is going to change. Okay, only the reverse entry will be passed. Okay, means deceased partner's capital account will be debited and profit and loss will be credited. Okay, similarly here as well, deceased partner's capital account will be debited and continuing partner's capital account will be credited. Understood the point? Only this will be the difference. Now let's talk about the method of calculation of estimated profit. On what basis it is calculated. Like I discussed a few moments back that there are two bases. Okay, either on time basis or on turnover basis. So let's have a discussion about that. Okay, so basis of estimating profit for the period I have just discussed with you. Time basis and turnover or sales basis. Okay, let's try to understand. Okay, let's take one example so that you can understand in a better way. There are two partners ABC, okay, and B dies. Fine, on 31st August 2020. Okay, and the last balance sheet was prepared on 31st March 2020. Fine, means after 31st March 2020. Okay, what is the period from April to August? 5 months. So this profit has to be calculated for these 5 months, but on what basis? Okay, so there can be two options here. Fine. One option, other partners may decide that on the basis of any previous year profit. Okay, say for example, they have decided between or among each other that whatever profit they earned in 2018, fine, that will be the base. Okay, say for example in 2018 they earned 50,000 as a profit. Okay, so now what will be the situation? That this 50,000 was there for the complete year. Fine. Now we will calculate 5 months profit and then we will calculate the share of deceased partners. Okay, whatever share he was getting. Say for example, he was getting 1 by 3. So now we calculate whatever amount comes out, that will be known as deceased partner share of profit. Understood the point? So one option is this. Another option may be possible, all the partners decide that on the basis of the average of certain years, the profit has to be estimated. For example, this just say that on the basis of last 3 years average profit. Okay. So now the average profit has to be calculated of last 3 years. Say for example, in 2019 it was 20,000, in 2018 it was 15,000, and in 2017 it was 10,000. Okay, so we will make the total of these. It becomes 45,000, and then will be divided by 3. It becomes 15,000. Right. Okay. Now with this 15,000, we will do the same. Multiply 5 by 12, and then share of deceased partner, and whatever the amount comes, that will be known as deceased partner share of profit. Understood? So there can be two options here. Either they can take any completed year from the history, okay, or they can decide such kind of formula like 3 years average profit, okay, or last 5 years average profit, whatever the case is. In this way, the calculation will be done. Understood? So this is what time basis. Now let's talk about turnover or sales basis. Okay. In that case, what happens? The other partners decide that in this period, means period of 5 months, whatever sales we have made, on that basis we will do. Say for example, in that period, sale is there of 50,000. Got it? Okay. Then they just say whatever is the percentage of profit on last year's sale, okay, the same percentage will be maintained on this sale as well. Okay, say for example, last year's sale is given 5 lakh, okay, and last year profit was 10,000. Okay, so very first we will calculate that this 10,000 is what percentage of 5 lakh. How? Like this. 2%. Okay. Now this 2% formula will be applied on this. How? We will calculate very first 2%. Okay. Fine. 1,000 comes out. Now in this 1,000 we will calculate share of deceased partner. Now whatever the amount comes, that will be known as the deceased partner share of profit. Understood? Here we need not do that period calculation. Why? Because the sale is there only for that period. Understood the point? So don't commit that mistake. Okay. One more thing, let me tell you. Either you can calculate by calculating the percentage, or you can directly apply one formula. If you do not want to go through this long method, then a shortcut method can be applied by using one formula. Okay. What is the formula? I just write down here. Deceased partner share of profit is equal to last year profit divided by last year sales multiply sales till date of that multiply share of deceased partner. How? Okay, I'll just show you. Last year profit is what? 10,000. I'll just put it here. Okay. Last year sale was 5 lakh. I'll just put it here. Okay, and sale for the period in which he died is 50,000. I'll just put it here. Okay, and then share of profit, that is 1 by 3. Okay, so after calculation the same amount will be getting. Understood the point? So these are two bases of estimating the profit. So whatever condition is agreed by the contributing partners and the executor of the deceased partner, okay, then this is decided. Okay, so when you attempt the numerical question, in the question specification must be given. Okay, and in the absence of any specification, you are supposed to apply this basis, time basis. Understood the point? Okay. So we will understand these things in better way when we attempt some numerical question. Alright, so without wasting much time, let's do so. You can see the question on your screen. So I have already written the question here, problem number 19. Let's read it out. Ashish, Brajesh and Chetan were partners in a farm. Chetan died on 31st May 2020, right? His share of profit from the closure of the last accounting year till the date of death was to be calculated on the basis of the average of 3 completed years of profits before that. Means time basis. Fine. Average of 3 completed years of profit before that. Profits for the year ended 31st March 2018, 19 and 20 were 36,000, 38,000 and 34,000. Okay, respectively. Calculate Chetan's share of profit till his death and pass necessary journal entry for the same, assuming there is no change in profit sharing ratio of remaining partners and there is change in profit sharing ratio of remaining partners, new ratio being 3:2. Okay, so in two of the situation, using the time basis, the journal entry has been asked. Okay, so how to attempt this question, I'll just show you. Very first, we will calculate the average of 3 completed years of profit. Alright, so after adding these 3, we'll divide it by 3. After adding, it comes out 1,08,000, and when we divide it with 3, then we get 36,000. Fine, that is the average profit of these 3 completed years. Fine, now we will calculate the period. Okay, as we did the last accounting on 31st March 2020. Okay, and he died on 31st May 2020. So we'll have to calculate the time period from 1st April 2020 to 31st May 2020. How many months? April, May. Means 2 months. Right? Fine. Now we'll write down here. Okay, 36,000 multiplied 2 by 12. But we need to calculate disease partner share of profit. So we need to multiply his share. What is his share? Share is given here? No. So in the absence of share given, we consider that equal share he was getting means 1 by 3. Now let's calculate it. Okay. So it comes out 2,000. Right? So 2,000 is the disease partner share of profit for this 2 months period. Understood? Okay. Now we'll pass the entries. Very first, in case A, when there is no change in profit sharing ratio of remaining partners. So in that case, what journal entry will be passing? Have a look here. In first case, when continuing partners do not change their profit sharing ratio, what entry will be passed? Profit and loss suspense account debit to Chetan's capital account. The amount will be 2,000. Fine. Being share of profits till death, transfer to deceased partner's capital account. Understood the point? Now let's go the second one. I just mentioned it here. There is change in profit sharing ratio. So very first we need to calculate the gaining ratio. Okay, only then we can pass the entry. Fine. So let's calculate the gaining ratio. So who are the partners remaining? Ashish and Brajesh. What is their new ratio? It is given here 3 by 5 and 2 by 5. Fine. And what was their old ratio? Old ratio was 1 by 3 and 1 by 3. Let's calculate. Okay. So we get 4 by 15 and 1 by 15. We can say 4 is to 1 is their gaining ratio. Fine. So this amount will be compensated by these two in this ratio. So what entry will be passed? I'll show you. So pay attention here. Ashish capital account debit, Brajesh capital account debit to Chetan's capital account. 1,600 and 400 means this 2,000 has been divided in this 4:1 ratio. Right. Being share of profit till death was compensated by gaining partners. Okay. Let me tell you one more thing. This entry is similar to the entry of goodwill, but amount differs. For the goodwill, we do the different calculation. Okay, journal entry may be similar, but here this is the amount of profit. Okay, reason I have already discussed you. So this is the way to pass the entry. Understood the point? Now we are going to attempt one more question on it. You can see the second question on your screen. So I have written the question here. Ashish, Brajesh and Chetan were partners sharing profits and losses in the ratio of 2:2:1. Chetan died on 30th June 2020. Okay. Profit and sales for the year ended 31st March 2020 were rupees 2 lakh and 20 lakh respectively. Sales during April to June 2020 were rupees 3 lakh. You are required to calculate share of profit of Chetan up to the date of his death. See, here it is clearly visible that what basis the partners have selected, the turnover or sales basis. Okay, so now in two ways we can attempt it. First, by calculating the percentage. Okay, so percentage of profit on last year sale. Okay, so last year profit multiply 100 divided by last year sale. What is the last year profit? 2 lakh rupees. What is the last year sale? 20 lakh. We calculate that and we get to know it is 10%. Alright, now profit on sales between April to June 2020. What is the sale? 3 lakh. 10% means 30,000. Okay, so this 30,000 is the profit of this period. Okay, now we need to calculate deceased partners share of profit. Okay, 30,000 multiply, what was the ratio? Chetan was dying, means 1 by 5. Let's calculate it. It's 6,000. Okay, calculation is done. So this is one way of calculating. Another, we do not need to do this long calculation. We could apply single formula here. Deceased partners share of profit is equal to last year profit 2 lakh, last year sale 20 lakh, multiply sale till the death, it is 3 lakh, multiply share of deceased partner, that is 1 by 5. If you calculate, then you get the same amount. Means either you can follow this way or you can directly apply this formula. Understood? Okay, so after application of this, we have got the share of profit of deceased partner. Okay, now we need to just pass the journal entry. Okay, and I told you that there are two ways to pass the journal entry. What here we do not see any change in the profit sharing ratio of continuing partner. So in that case, first condition will be applied. Okay, and the journal entry will be, okay, have a look here. Profit and loss suspense account debit 6,000 to Chetan's capital account, 6,000 being share of profit till death transferred to deceased partner's capital account. Understood? Okay, so this is the way to attempt the question on the estimation of profit under two of the bases. Alright, so friends, it was all about the concept and numerical problems related to the death of a partner. Okay, let me tell you one more thing. If you want to attempt any numerical question on retiring of a partner, on death of a partner, everything will be similar. One difference will be there. One more time I just tell you, after making all debit and credit adjustment, whatever is the balance of the deceased partners, that will be transferred to his executor's account. Okay, and this executor account will be mentioned in the balance sheet as a liability until unless it is paid or transferred to loan account. Understood the point? Alright friends, it was all about this entire chapter, retirement and death of a partner. Very soon I'll be meeting you with the another video. Till then, thank you, bye bye.